Hello, welcome to Small Talk. Hello, welcome to Small Talk. I don't know a lot about today's guest. I do know that he's a musician and a grandfather. When I contacted him and informed him I could use some more information in order to ask questions, he said, let's improvise. I said, okay. So here we go, improvising with Gerald Charlie. So thank you, first of all, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So you're a blues musician, is that correct?
Yes, I'm a blues man, as I've been told.
You've been told, so you don't know that, didn't know prior to being told?
Someone had pointed out to me.
Did you ever, was it always blues, or did you ever deviate into, I don't know, punk rock or?
No, well, my younger days, I played around a little bit of the old time rock and roll, but not a whole lot.
All right, and where do you perform?
I played at different festivals, like the Lytton River Fest and the Mission Folk Festival, and just whatever festivals I could get, I guess, you know, pretty well all over BC and sometimes in the US side as well. When Jack Lavin, bass player for Power the Blues, said, you know, you gotta get a CD out. And I said, I have enough songs for a CD. He said, well, let's get together then.
Right.
He decided to be my producer. He set up dates for me when we can go in the studio.
Oh, nice. Is he still are you still associated with him?
He's moved to the island now, so I don't see him too often anymore.
So who books your shows now? Do you do that yourself?
I do that on my own. I've never had a manager.
Right.
Anything like that.
Okay.
I've never even had those promo kits or stuff that they ask for on. Most festivals ask for those things, but I don't have that.
Right.
They'll just ask me if I'm available, and they book me.
Okay. And where are some? You said you're in the States. Like, how do you get to perform in the States? How would you get booked there?
I guess I have some friends over there that I've met way back. It started when I went to, I get out there all the time. If I hear about jams,
yes,
I want to check it out.
Oh, okay.
And see what's going on. And I was at the Wild Buffalo one time, out there doing a jam session. And this one guy saw me and he was thrilled. Bam, from there on, he hired me for a gig over there, and it just moved on and on like that.
Right. Now, I know you live in Agassiz, correct?
I live in Lake Erock.
Where is that Lake Erock?
It's about 10 miles west of Agassiz on Highway 7.
Yeah, that's
It is another country, yeah.
But you speak the same language, because I understand everything you're saying.
That's right. It's my accent you have to watch for.
So, what does music do for you?
It helps me in a lot of ways. It really keeps me going. I've been down and out in a lot of ways, you know, but the music always seems to pick me up. You know, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You know, it's just taps into everything in my life, or I think in most cases, everybody's life. But during winter season, we have our traditional ceremonies, winter ceremonies, and I see that as music as well, too, and it's pretty strong spiritually, and the songs are beautiful.
Right.
You know, the hand drum is my main instrument during the winter.
Oh, is that right,
and then, when it comes to springtime, I put that away and I pick up the guitar and same thing.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
It's music, yes.
Yeah, you know, I think we all need something that maybe heals us, I guess is a good word, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Now, I know you're married, correct?
Yes.
And you have children and grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren.
And great-grandchildren. Okay, because I booked you on the show once before, but you couldn't make it because you were taking care of maybe one of your great-grandchildren?
Yes.
You had to cancel. So I didn't mind the fact that you had to cancel. I like the fact that you were committed to being that great-grandfather. I think that's important, right?
Yeah, it's a priority, my grandchildren.
Yeah.
I have to watch out for them, you know.
Stay tuned. We'll be back.
I wanna know all about you, your life's a story.
back, and I'm just speaking to Gerald Charlie. I want to ask you about your community. What can you tell me about your community?
Skowla's Indian Reserve is a small community, consists of about 3 parts. There's one in Harrison Mills, there is one in Harrison Bay, and it consists of about 6 or 8 different families.
Oh, okay.
I come from the Charlie family, and there's a lot of other different families. And it wasn't really easy being brought up in that community. It was a very, very, very tough times.
In what way?
Well, you look back in the history, you know, how our people were taken out of our homes, beginning way back, even before my parents even had kids, being put in residential schools.
Right.
And it still continued when we were children. Then they started putting us in boarding home programs. Alcoholism was really high. Then it got into drug abuse later on. And poverty was really high in the community I came from. It was a really tough life, sometimes going without food days on end. It was like that for a lot of families.
Wow.
And eventually our people pulled out of that. Most of our people have today. A lot of the people have become old, and, like myself.
We're all getting older.
Yes, and we're working really hard at making a better community.
That's
So,
nice.
You know, for the children, they have a nice big playground. We have a brand new soccer field we just finished. They're getting a little water park down there, and you know, all those things that have happened over the years. It's been really hard to, you know, not look back.
Yes.
But still, you have to sort of like live here in the now, and plan for what's ahead. Like for my grandson sitting here, try to plan ahead for all my grandkids, my family. There hasn't been a very good experience in our lives. There's been a lot of death in our family. It was like a never-ending thing.
Wow.
Even to the point of losing 2 of my own sons. And one of my son was, this was his son here. And it's just like ongoing. It's like there's one death, and we haven't even finished grieving for that one, and another one happened,
Right.
and then another one, and another one.
That's
It
harsh,
just
yeah.
Never ended.
Right.
I did have 6 sisters. They're all gone. Lost 3 brothers. Just buried a brother about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
He was on the streets here in this town.
I remember your brother. I met him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was your brother, but I did meet him.
Yeah. It's that long history that he went through. He never pulled out of it. So, you know, it was just a very, very harsh life we had to go through. People think we have an easy time because we're natives. They think our houses get paid for.
They do think that. You're absolutely right.
They do think that we get everything free.
And what they don't understand, like I'm trying to educate myself, actually unlearn what I was taught by the government, by TV and whatever like that. So we only know what the government puts out there for us to know.
That's right.
So it's important for us to listen to people, to you.
The ignorance is so high.
Yes.
I eventually went through upgrading. I didn't make it through high school, but I upgraded for years, and I eventually got to university and graduated with a B.Ed. teacher's degree.
Awesome.
I retired with that. I fell ill and had to retire. But working in the school system, I never saw so much ignorance about our people.
Right.
You know, and even when I was going through university, I couldn't believe the stuff that went on there, how our people are treated in the university. And then the ones that, my classmates, their attitudes, their behavior, I know in a lot of cases was racist. And yet, during our graduation year, I was thinking, these people are going to go teach in our public schools, and they're going to see our children like that.
Right.
I wonder how they're going to be
Oh, interesting, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me. I say it's hard not to look back, but I don't like looking back because it's just bad feelings,
Yeah.
unhappy feelings.
Sure.
I don't want to live with that.
Right.
I want to be happy and enjoy the peace and the love and all that type of stuff, you know?
Well, then let's switch it to a happy place. Let's talk about how you love being with your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren.
Oh, these are just joy of my life. That's all I can say.
That's wonderful. How many grandchildren did you have? Did you tell me?
Well, I have CJ, Pearl, Gerald here, and I have Lily, I have little Warren. That many grandchildren.
That's nice. That's really nice. I also like, just quickly before we end, I like how on Facebook, when you post a comment, you always put like blues at the end. Like, for instance, well, it's time to say goodnight, blues. I love that. I think
Just
that's
a
so much fun.
trademark, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's a great trademark. I think it's wonderful. And I believe we're out of time. It went so fast, but I appreciate you being here. And I really think you should come back at some time.
I thank you. I'd be happy to come back.
That's awesome.
Blues.
And thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. In the meantime, peace out.
You've got a story to tell. So come on in, sit down and relax. I hope you're doing well. Let's share some thoughts on hope.